Alright, somebody had to do it. Backseat Sakurai here, and now that the most recent trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie has released, I feel like I've seen enough to give my opinion on how I'm personally feeling about the movie. So to start, I'll be honest and say, I never even wanted a Super Mario movie in the first place. I've always viewed the utter failure of Nintendo's early attempts at this as a happy accident. Maybe not for Nintendo's bottom line, but certainly selfishly as a fan of these games, seeing Nintendo stick to what they were best at, which is games, was really nice. The games were all I ever really needed as a fan, so I'm already maybe starting off on a different wavelength than most people when approaching this topic. Either way, the movie's here, it's happening. So let's start with the positives. Obviously, in terms of the quality of the visuals and everything, it looks like a well-animated, high-budget blockbuster film. That's bare minimum type of stuff, but I will give credit where it's due. Jack Black overall sounds pretty great as Bowser. He definitely conveys Bowser's personality correctly, although I think the writing of this movie will probably limit how great this depiction ends up being overall, but more on that later. And I actually do like Donkey Kong's redesign. I don't like almost anything else about this entire Donkey Kong scene, but DK having a throwback arcade-style design within the context of a Mario origin story film is definitely a tasteful move, and he looks pretty great. The elephant in the room. Chris Pratt as Mario, all jokes aside, this just totally sucks. Mushroom Kingdom, Here We Come was legit a facepalm in real life sort of moment for me. Mario being a pseudo-silent protagonist, barring a few catchphrases and woos and wah, quite possibly his most consistent defining trait across almost every depiction of him ever. Even in Paper Mario, where all the other characters, including Luigi, speak in full sentences, Mario never does, except for in things that people generally don't consider good or care about at all. I first knew I would hate this movie for real when I saw the antique shop in the background of one of the shots, and all the classic Mario items in there, because I knew right then that this movie would be going down the route of being overly self-aware, self-deprecating, cynical, etc. A ton of the humor in the movie seems to be going the route of basically just pointing out how ridiculous or implausible or stupid something about the Mario universe is, and just laughing at it. Oh, look how impractical warp pipes would be as an actual method of transportation. Haha. That's so silly and stupid. Oh, Mario and Luigi are supposed to be two adult men, but they wear funny matching outfits with their initials on their hats? That's so silly and weird and stupid, let's all laugh. Oh, obviously Donkey Kong would just beat the crap out of Mario if they actually fought. Their whole battle is just a gag now, actually, which, don't even get me started on how much I hate that. Who are all these Kongs, by the way? My family tree video is totally ruined. But yeah, this sort of taking the piss out of something that isn't even meant to be analyzed literally sort of humor used to be the stuff of parody flash animations on Newgrounds, not the actual humor in the piece of media itself. I don't know who or what exactly started this style of humor in movies, but I hate it. Hate is a strong word, but I absolutely hate it. I don't understand why actual fans of the source material would feel at all excited about sitting through 2 hours of parody gags making fun of the thing that you supposedly like. The parts of the trailer that actually look like Mario is running through a Mario level and you're like, oh my god, this rules, this looks like Mario, awesome Mario stuff, oh my god. Yeah, that's all just a training course. It's a total gag, it's not real. And that seems to be the other running joke in this movie, is that Mario is just a complete idiot. Oh look, there's a Cheep Cheep on his head, get it off, ah. Oh look, he doesn't even know how to use a warp pipe. Oh look, he falls for the falling block. Yep, Mario is just cowardly and not Mario-like at all in this movie. His personality is honestly closer to what Luigi's normally is, and I get why it probably ended up this way. Mario's normal state of unwavering confidence and bold dedication to helping whoever's in need is almost too milquetoast and boring to make work as a main character. In a game, it works quite well, but for a movie, it's just boring, I guess. So yeah, movie version of Mario, weak coward. But who's gonna fix that? Don't worry. Princess Peach, of course, because in this movie, she is a halberd-wielding war commander. Yeah. And listen, this is not a gender politics sort of thing for me at all, but the characterization of Peach here is just straight up off. Peach is indeed always portrayed as intelligent, driven, capable, a respected political leader adored by the citizens of her kingdom, but she is also supposed to be soft-spoken, dignified, etc. If she does fight physically, it's usually under strange circumstances, like in a dream world, or in Super Smash Bros., which is a sport-like fighting tournament. I know there's Mario 3D World and some other examples of Peach fighting alongside Mario, but for a first Mario movie establishing the base premise of the universe, I hate to say it, but she should be getting kidnapped by Bowser. I know the whole damsel in distress thing is not in vogue at all right now for a variety of reasons, and that's fine, but seriously, Peach being kidnapped by Bowser and Mario having to save her from him is the entire plot of Super Mario Bros. And Bowser kidnaps her as both a political move, an attempt to take over the Mushroom Kingdom and add its inhabitants to the ranks of his army, and because he has some kind of weird crush on her. Peach, meanwhile, is supposed to be sort of constantly managing to get letters to Mario while she's in Bowser's clutches, snooping around for intel whenever possible, contributing to the fight back against Bowser even when she's being held captive by him. She's not just a useless damsel in distress, she's way more than that. But she's not a halberd-wielding battle warrior. She's more of a thief class than a warrior, I guess is what I'm saying. And I do, of course, know that the halberd or axe or whatever it is a reference to the end of the castle levels in the original Super Mario Bros. Where you knock the bridge over, and I assume they're gonna try to redo that sequence in the movie, which I guess is a cool reference. But I always interpreted the axe or halberd or whatever as sort of an incidental piece of the scenery that Mario just uses to knock the bridge over. I still find it incredibly weird to see a Mario character straight up wielding a weapon in this way, but anyway. To remedy this, it seems like in this movie, Luigi will be the one that gets kidnapped, and this makes way less sense for a variety of reasons. Why does Bowser even want information about Mario from Luigi in the first place? Bowser's initial beef is never supposed to be with Mario himself. Mario just shows up to stop him whenever he's giving someone else a hard time. Luigi being the one kidnapped is also strange given that it's Super Mario Bros. All the way back to the original game, or even just the plain old Mario Bros. That preceded it, Luigi is totally equal to Mario and possibly the one to beat Bowser alongside him. Luigi having his cowardly, insecure, weirdo personality is fine, but having him be reduced to a damsel in distress because Peach isn't allowed to is a step too far in my opinion, and kind of ridiculous. I also really despise that Mario Kart is getting folded in here too. It's the sort of thing that would be appropriate for a background Easter egg. Maybe catch a glimpse of a kart race happening in the background somewhere in the Mushroom Kingdom. But having the characters use karts as a means of actually traversing the world feels super forced, and it's doing way too much recontextualizing for the sake of cheap fan service and a driving sequence in your movie. The whole thing just feels too generic modern-day action movie. It's a slideshow of as many references as possible, mishmashed into some weird, overly self-aware kaleidoscope of familiar imagery without any actual meaning behind any of it. Yoshi's on Yoshi's Island just because it's cool to see Yoshi's, I guess. But you know there's going to be no reference to the Baby Mario shenanigans that Yoshi actually took place in. It's just because, well, we have to see Yoshi's. Why are Toad's minions, by the way? We know they're going to make the Toad's minions. Why? Toad deserves so much better. It feels like they're trying to advertise as many elements of the Mario universe at a time to children without taking the proper care to contextualize them properly. If people accepted the Sonic movie and gave that praise when it's literally just a weird CGI Sonic running around with a police officer in a buddy comedy, people will definitely accept this. And it just feels so low and tasteless and cheap. I absolutely would not put the Nintendo seal of quality on this movie from what I've seen of it so far. And that's just what I feel. It's cheap, desperate, and weird coming from Nintendo in any capacity. I hate it. Even the darkest days of the Wii U, where yes, I did actually stick around for, felt better than this. As far as a good piece of media that gives Mario a proper story, if you really do need that, Paper Mario on the N64 is all you ever really needed. And personally, I don't really feel great about the prospect of giving Nintendo $15 to see Chris Pratt go through a revolving door of random Mario references to use for self-deprecating gags for 2 hours straight. I'm not happy about this at all, but that's just me. If you disagree, just let me know in the comments below. I'm really not trying to be the angry, this sucks, internet guy. But man, I'm disappointed, and I am also Backseat Sakurai. And I'll catch you later.